Now have cloudy skies. The snow has ended.
This is KYW TV, Philadelphia. Now, coverage you can count on. This is KYW News 3 Weekend.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Amy Capel.
And I'm Brendan Brooks. Thanks for joining us this morning for News 3 Weekend. It's Saturday. It's the 11th of January, 1997. Lots of news and information straight ahead.
And we'll take you live to a special look inside the Pennsylvania Convention Center where the auto show opens to the public later this morning. And a big family celebrates the birth of their child. Coming up later, we'll introduce you to this family's first little girl.
And as you can see, they've been trying for a long time. That story of the Saturday Tribune, Ask the Vet, and a whole lot more. And
right now we want to check in with you. Very important Franklin Institute weekend forecast. There's some snow out there. A surprise to some folks, I am sure. News 3 meteorologist Tom Lemane's in the Weather Center. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Amy. Well, the only ones who were surprised are ones who didn't watch us yesterday, really. This is only confirming what we said would happen, a quick burst of snow leaving about an inch on the ground as a super cold front comes through the area and forms a disturbance right along the front. And you can see the cause from our satellite picture first. As the front comes through, the sweeping clouds coming through the greater Philadelphia region, and you can watch a bubble of clouds form on it and now moving off toward the northeast. Here's our snowcast. You can see how that also follows that trend as the front comes through. Now, here is what we have had and what to expect. It has ended in Philadelphia and continues to end from west to east over in New Jersey. Our total about an inch or so, and the main concern, icy roadways, and that's about the concern we'll have throughout the rest of the morning. Many of the roads have been treated. You'll see big differences between roadways that have surfaces that you can see, although they may be icy because temperatures are below freezing everywhere, to roadways that haven't been touched yet and still are snow covered. But the snow is over, and our concern now is for the icy roadways and much colder air moving in later on today, and that cold air looks like it's going to be with us for a while, gang, maybe through the next 5 days. So stay tuned. We'll have an update on that.
Well, you'd think it was January or something.
You might think it was January, Brandon.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
And with that snow falling through the night, Tom mentioned, of course, the big concern is the condition of the roadways for folks heading out this morning.
As Tom said, about an inch on the roadways here in the city, but a bit more than that out in the suburbs. Right now, the major highways seem to be in pretty good shape. Most of them just wet at this hour, but you might want to take it slow on those secondary roads in your neighborhood. News 3's Eleanor Jean Henley standing by now live in Bridesburg to clue us in on the conditions there. Good morning, EJ.
Good morning, Amy. I'm right here on I-95 Bridge Street exit in Bridesburg. And as you can take a look behind me here, you can see that traffic is moving normally. But then, of course, it's only a few minutes after 7 o'clock, so you don't expect to see too much traffic on the road. Now, my drive-in, no problems at all. I saw a PennDOT crews, so it's pretty obvious that the crews were sort of anticipating or ready for whatever there might be out here this morning. Now, joining me is Nick Martino, and Nick is with PennDOT. And Nick, I saw a couple of crews in Center City. I saw a couple of crews on the Schuylkill Expressway when I was headed to work this morning, so it seems as though you folks are ready.
Yeah, we've been ready. We've had our people in place since 11 a.m. We have our trucks continue to salt since 1 a.m. And we're going to continue through the morning rush hour as long as it takes to keep the road safe for the motoring public.
All right, now, Nick, we'd heard a lot about what's called liquid magnesium fluoride, and this is a weapon in your arsenal to fight the snow if it really gets bad, but you haven't had to use it so far.
No, we didn't need to use it. We stay with the straight salt with our plow trucks, and we use that for this particular operation, and we didn't have any use for the liquid magnesium chloride.
Okay, so all we have to watch out for now is the ice.
We're going to have to watch out for the ice. The temperatures are below freezing. Later in the day, it's going to rise, but we have enough salt down where it should be okay, and the roads will be wet, and we'll be okay.
Okay, thanks, Nick. So that's the latest on the roadways here. No real problem, just a little coating of snow. But if you are going to be outside and driving around, just word to the wise, be careful. I'm Eleanor Jean Henley reporting live. Back to you in the studio.
All right. Thank you very much, EJ.
Thanks, EJ. And EJ mentioned the city and the main highways looking real good. But if you're getting out of the neighborhoods in the suburban areas, boy, you want to watch out there. It was a real adventure trying to get out of my neighborhood this morning. Like you said, an inch or two of snow, and a lot of the smaller streets haven't been hit yet. So you want to be careful getting to the highways.
Especially those intersections where traffic has been through just a little bit. They're kind of wet, but it's deceiving because it is still cold out there.
Yeah.
So a lot of things are icing up. We're going to get the overall traffic picture this morning from the KYW Traffic Center.
Yeah, Brian Ramona in this morning. Hi, Brian.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. And again, yeah, I had the same problems coming in as you guys did on 422 especially. Let's take a look at this is the Ben Franklin Bridge over the Delaware River. And you can see that things are wet. But again, keep in mind that some of that wet could be ice. And this is the Schuylkill Expressway right around South Street. Again, you can see traffic moving along fine. Key word is just give yourself plenty of extra time if you're going to head out this morning. Many icy spots, though the roads have been treated. Again, those secondary roads could be the problem. And that's the latest from the traffic center.
All righty, thanks, Brian. The investigation is over.
This is a special edition of WeatherScope, up-to-the-minute forecasts and comprehensive coverage of the nation's weather from the Weather Channel forecast team.
Harsh cold in the northern plains, more wintry weather in the west, and heavy lake effect snow in the Great Lakes region near Buffalo, New York. Good morning, I'm Marshall Cease. First, with an update report on that snowstorm in Buffalo, here's Marnie Stanier.
Okay, thanks a lot, Marshall. We're going to go right to our crew. We have a Weather Channel crew there they're on the south side of Buffalo, near the intersection of I-90 and 190. Bill, can you hear me?
Yes, Marnie, I can. Good morning.
Tell me what it's like there.
It's a good morning in the sense that it's getting brighter out here. It is still snowing, obviously. It is still blowing. That's pretty obvious, too, I think. It's very horizontal snow falling right now. Air temperature about, maybe 15 degrees, I'd say, out here now. All that Fargo and Grand Forks nastiness is rotating our way, I think. And, yeah, it's coming over a wide open lake. There's no ice on Lake Erie right now, so sheer fact is bitter cold air coming over. The operative word here is relatively warmer waters of Lake Erie, bringing this lake effect snow in, and it is a fairly wide band. It looks like the real heavy band, though, is roughly from near downtown Buffalo, if you drew a line about from the Peace Bridge over to Canada, and then extended eastward towards the Buffalo airport. That area north really getting pounded right now, and as we said earlier, there is a driving ban in the city of Buffalo today.
Are people paying attention to that? I do see some folks on the roadways in back of you.
Well, that's correct, Marnie. There is an emergency, warrant. You can get out there if you really have to, I guess. But this is an interstate. This is I-190, and yeah, it comes off the New York State Thruway, and it is heading towards the city of Buffalo. So if you are on the interstate itself, I suppose if you are making a travel plan today to Toronto, they would allow you to go on through. But as far as the secondary roadways in town, that is not allowed. And also there's a skyway, Highway 5, which extends from near the new arena southward down towards the southern suburbs, and that was closed as of last night. I'll have to check on that this morning.
Okay, well, it looks like the winds have died down a bit. Earlier, about an hour or so ago, those winds were gusting to about 32 miles per hour.
Well, they're still holding their own, don't get me wrong. Now, the Buffalo Airport, by the way, is about 5 miles to my north, so it would be off in that direction. So they may be a little farther inland. The closer you get to the water, I'm sure the higher the wind speeds, which could be on the order of 45 to 50 miles per hour. And obviously, that's going to cut that visibility at times down to next to nothing.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bill. We appreciate the update, and we'll have another update with you in about a half an hour or so.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Well, hard, cold air is still in place over parts of the upper Midwest, too. As a matter of fact, we'll take you into the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Temperatures hovered in the single digits there on Friday. Today, a high of 10 degrees is expected, but that is better than Friday's high. They only topped at 7 degrees yesterday. That's about 14 degrees colder than normal for the folks in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Let's check in on the latest snowfall history. We'll show you how much snow we have on the ground. It looks like the heaviest snow has fallen right here over southwestern lower Michigan, and it does look like we're expecting more right in this general area. Pretty good snows expected. Here's what we're forecasting at this point. We have arrows on this next map pointing to where we think that locally a foot of snow is possible. So across this region with that lake effect snow, lots of driving hazards and all kinds of problems. As Bill just mentioned, in Buffalo, they do have some bans on driving. So please be very, very careful if you do venture out. More on the wind chills coming up in a minute, but here are the current temperatures. And if you live north of this line, you are below zero right now. That gives you an idea of how cold it is. The teens and 20s drop all the way down into this region. So a lot of cold air, lots of Arctic air dropping in across the U.S. Even in Florida, they'll feel it. Sault Ste. Marie, 3 above right now, 6 in Erie, 29 in New York City with off and on snow flurries. Boston, you still have snow too. The current temperature there is 29. And at this hour, the wind chill is 12 in the Boston area. We move to another region, and we do want to show you that the radar shows snow over upper Michigan right here and also lower Michigan. Now, the heaviest snow has been falling right about here in Grand Traverse County. Reports of 18 inches of snow with this recent round of lake effect snow. So it's coming down here. We have blizzard warnings in effect for some parts of the upper Midwest, mainly in eastern North Dakota. So please drive especially careful right here. Blizzard warnings are in effect. Current temperatures 1 above in Chicago, the big goose egg there in St. Louis, and in Fargo 11 below. Wind chills, though, are quite low. We're talking about a wind chill currently in Minot 69 below and Bismarck 61 below. So again, blizzard warnings are in effect here. Travel is not recommended on some of the roadways. There are still a lot of roadways that are closed because of the blizzard conditions. So please, if you do head out, drive carefully. Have that winter survival kit in your car just in case you become stranded. Now we're going to go back to the studio with Marshall C. Say,
Good advice, Marnie. Make sure you have that emergency kit, and if you are in the car, make sure you got plenty of gas. You don't want to get stranded out there in 70-degree below zero wind chills. Elsewhere in the United States, cold temperatures are being felt as far south as Texas and along the East Coast, and more snow showers are expected in the Rockies today. Road crews spent most of yesterday clearing snow from the highway following an avalanche near Vail, Colorado. It happened on Interstate 70, about 3.5 miles west of Vail. The slide shut off traffic at Vail Pass in both directions. 2 cars were caught in the snow for a while, but no one was reported hurt. Here's your satellite picture. That satellite picture showing a couple of impulses rotating through the Rockies. And as they rotate around that trough that has been built in the upper levels of the atmosphere, they're going to rotate through southern portions of the Rockies, across Texas, and then to the east. And as it collides with that Arctic air, we're going to see a setup, well, as early as tomorrow morning for the San Antonio area, hill country. There's an advisory out here for the possibility of freezing rain, sleet and snow perhaps when you arise tomorrow morning. That's on a line from about Cotulla, Texas over to Palacios and Victoria, Texas. You can see another impulse moving through Idaho right now. It's caused some rain to fall around Mountain Home. It's now moving through Utah and Nevada. Meanwhile, Arctic air all the way to the Gulf Coast, as far east as the East Coast, and heavy lake effect snows up in the Great Lakes. Definitely a problem, as you know. Bill Keneally telling you about it, sitting there in 32 degree below zero wind chills. 20 degrees below zero is what it is in eastern Montana right now, while the south is seeing temperatures in the teens and 20s. Down in South Florida, not a bad day today. Cold and clear in South Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama. Temperature is 39 in Jacksonville, just about 7 degrees over the freezing mark. 18 in Atlanta. Factor in that wind chill. Feels like it's 3 degrees in Atlanta, 1 below at Birmingham. You know, Huntsville, Alabama got 2 inches of snow overnight. Memphis, Tennessee got 4 inches of snow. Tough travel conditions in Tennessee over into North Carolina. We're going to say goodbye to this snow around Connecticut and Rhode Island. This is pretty rapidly moving off the coast this morning, so it isn't a setup that you're going to have to worry about later today. Now, you got some fog out west in the San Joaquin, Sacramento valleys, a little fog up in the Willamette Valley, and that's going to cause some travel problems if you're going to be driving the Pacific Coast Highway or Interstate 5 through Southern California. 31 in Medford currently, 48 in San Francisco, 38 in Las Vegas. Phoenix, a chilly 40 degrees this morning, and it's chilly up at Williston, where it's 29 degrees below zero. Maps into motion. There's